Hey y'all, I'm Jey,
And I'm Meka.
and this is our channel.
Yeah.
And this is our channel. Today we're going to be doing a review of, or a recap. They're not reviews, a recap. Recapping Love After Lockup. This is going to be a combination episodes 7,
6 and 7.
6 and 7. Because we did do 6 because we were on a little sabbatical last week. So this is going to be episodes 6 and 7.
Yes.
But thank you for joining us. When you get a chance, give us a like, a comment, subscribe. We'll be active in the comments. So, yeah. And we're actually live with our TikTok.
Yeah, we are.
So, yeah. But, Love After Lockup, Meka is going to be taking this over. So, you ready to jump off into it?
Sure.
All right, let's go. I'm following her lead, y'all. It's her show.
All right. So, like I said, we're reviewing episode 6 and 7. So, on episode 6, it shows Ashley basically, she's hysterical. She's crying because Julius has just told her, like, he ain't basically, right?
Yeah.
In so many words. He's kind of like, it ain't what you think it is. And she's devastated. And so, he's explaining to the people that, like, he hasn't led her, he doesn't feel like he's led her on.
He handled it like a real one, is essentially what he's doing.
Yeah.
This is what it is.
Yeah, he feels like he has led her on. He said he did not tell her to get that tattoo and that she don't need to, that we're going to get it. So don't get it how did he say it?
Misconstrued. Don't get misconstrued out here.
So yeah, so he's, he deaded that issue with Ashley.
No, okay, so question.
Yeah.
After seeing the fallout of Ashley and the whole scenario, do you feel how you felt initially about Julius? Yes, I'm doing it because initially you were, he shouldn't be doing it. And I told you, I was like, yo, well, I don't want to say I told you, but I stated that he's handling it in the manner in which he needs to because people be bugging. To me, he didn't show A, B, and C to that girl all the way through, and he did exactly what he said he was going to do. I'm not the way he said he was going to do, but what I thought he was going to do from a male perspective.
Yeah. I mean, in the beginning, yes, I was team girl. I felt like he was lying to her, this and that. But, as the story unfolds, we all know that Julius has been relatively upfront with Ashley. Not so much with Alexis at that time, but with Ashley. He told Ashley that he was entertaining other women for whatever the reasons were. Right?
He had nothing to lose with her.
Right. Like in his case, his reasons were he was in jail. He needed people to put money on his books. We all know that Julius had some family things going on where his family appeared to be not really there for him in the way that he needed at times. So he basically was talking to these different women to get what he needed. And so, yeah, he let Ashley know that, but I think in the same time, he told her enough to kind of like, I think it like jail talk, they say. Everybody keeps putting jail talk in the comments.
It's not his responsibility to handle her emotions like that.
Yeah, so she got a tattoo of a man she never met. She decided to claim someone that she never met in person based off of a phone call and that he sounded cute, if y'all all recall, right? So these are decisions, unfortunately, that Ashley made for whatever the reason she made them. So anyway, long story short, Julius deaded that because he, as we all know, he is with Alexis. Alexis, turns out, is his girlfriend. This is the girl that he said he loved. This is the one that, and again, I don't think he had been that forthcoming with her about other women. Alexis is unaware that Julius was talking to other women, right? So that's what that is. So anyway, he leaves. I think he told Alexis before he left the apartment that he was only going to be gone for 30 minutes. He comes back relatively within that time frame, but a little late. Alexis is kind of sitting there like, where have you been type of thing, and he's just, as you can see, just kind of chilling on the couch, and she's asking him like, so how did it go with your friend? And you're not getting a warm and fuzzy. She's picking up like a weird vibe that he might not be telling the truth, that he might have been somewhere that he shouldn't have been. So, and as we know, she's correct. And so, she just kind of like puts a pin in it. And what I'll say about Alexis, I think that Alexis has really, I know a lot of people are giving these girls a lot of for so many words, but I do think that Alexis has handled herself very well considering some of the situations. Like she's been very, she's a person that's gonna observe before she jumped the gun. I would say
She's mature.
she's handling it really maturely. So I'll say that about Alexis. Um, so they plan to take him to his PO. They drive to his PO's office, and his phone is dinging. It's dinging, it's going off, and it's Ashley basically saying, "Hey, I I'm about to call you out. Like you did me dirty, and I'm about to let everybody know." I.e., probably get on social media and tell everybody. Right? So he's sitting there, and Alexis is hearing this phone go off, and again, she's getting these like intuition, this women intuition that something is just odd, something is wrong. Clearly, this phone is a woman texting him.
Not clearly.
Well, in her mind, and it turns out once again she's right. Intuition is a motherfucker. It really is.
Yeah, because she's wrong.
But it's usually right. It's usually right, and I'm gonna stick to it's usually fucking right. So like it is what it is. But and again, with that, she did not just so you gotta give her credit for that. She did not jump the gun. Like she didn't let her emotions get so involved that she kind of was like, I could see what type of person Alexis is. I'm not about to say that until I have hardened evidence. Right? Until I have super evidence that he's actually doing something wrong, which I can respect that. Because in that case, you're gonna be going off on a motherfucker all the time. You know what I mean? So she kind of like keeps her chill. Excuse me. But keeps her chill. So they're headed, after they leave the PO, they head to...
She got some shoulders. I'm sorry, go ahead.
But they head to their little date, and they go to like this little gaming place. And they're sitting there talking, and he's catching a vibe that Alexis, something's wrong. He can tell that she's peeping game, that she might know something, And so he's like, "What's up? How are you feeling?" That's what he asked her. And she tells him, like, "I don't know." She's like, "I feel like there's somebody else." So, is there somebody else? And Julius at first like, "What you mean though?" Like he's like, "What you mean?" He's kind of like playing it off a little bit. But then he confesses that yes, there is somebody else. And I don't think she was fully ready for that response. Like one of those things you ask the question, but you hope that the answer is something else. But she asked, and to his credit, he did tell her. And she got emotional about it. And once again, she didn't fly off the handle. Some bitches would have flipped the table over. Some would have threw that damn game off the table and been like, whatever. But Alexis got up, went to her car, and she, cried in her car.
Like I was saying too. What I was saying is like I thought the fact she handled it in a mature way because he was not the way he was explaining to her led for him to possibly, have a situation arise. Yeah. I don't think he knew how to convey what he was trying to say, or that he not I don't want to say cared enough, but just emotional distance type of things, being locked up, whatever. Like, but he did come out and she handled it in a mature way because something like that can lead to some problematic situations. So I will give Alexis props for that. Both of them actually.
Yeah. So here's her. She's crying in the car and whatnot. They eventually get back to the house. Don't do that. They eventually get back to the house. And, now that he's revealed that he's been talking to another woman and possibly other women, she like sharing your location. What's up? And...
Hold on, I don't like how you slid that in there. There ain't no possible other women. That's her assumptions. He
said
talked,
that. But
he didn't say he talked. He said there ain't no more girls. No more girls.
No, he said it. He said in the other episode that there are women that he's entertaining.
We're gonna get
So anyway, at any rate, again, to her credit, he lied. So now you cast doubt on your relationship. Yes, he confessed, but in the beginning he lied. So
was it a justifiable lie?
No, there's distrust there. We're not gonna do this on another live, but there's distrust there. And so she asked him for his location, and he like, yeah, nah. But he's basically like, nah, that's not, I'm not trying to do that. And she's like, but if you're not doing anything, then why wouldn't you share my location?
Because he's an adult. That should be something that you do willingly without having to be requested. It's like, where you going? I'm going to the moon. Don't worry about it. And if you go to the moon, it ain't a problem.
Right. But
man and woman, this ain't just a guy-centric thing.
yeah, no. And there's people that willingly share their location, but like, but some, people, in this situation, she's feeling insecure, and it rightfully kind of so at the moment.
Yeah.
I know you don't agree with that, but I do.
No.
Understand that she kind of feels insecure, so she's asking. He says no, basically.
No, I justify her feeling insecure. I'm not gonna say I don't. That I understand her feeling insecure.
Insecure is such a hard word to say.
That's what she feels.
That it is, but it's like a hard confession to make about yourself if you're feeling that way.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Insecure.
But anyway, so that's that, and that was them for the 6 and 7 episode. We'll hop into JK and Brooke. Brooke cut up. So basically, as you see here, Brooke is flicking JK off. What happened in the episode prior to that is that he went to go see his mom, whatever he called her, his grandma, and
we don't make fun of that.
Brooke, I wasn't making fun of her, but Brooke wanted him to go see her boys, her 2 boys that she had with some other men that not before she met him, but while they weren't together. Like, oh, this is gonna sound bad. They weren't dating.
No.
She weren't dating. She was in relationships with other people. She had children. Okay, these children, she promised them that they would meet JK. They got short on time. JK has a ankle monitor. He ain't got time for that or nothing else. He got to get back to the house. Brooke is not being understanding. She's like, me, my boys. I don't want to break promises to them. All this other stuff. And he's like, okay, I understand that, but they'll understand. Just tell them. And anyway, they're doing this exchange, going back and forth. He snatches the keys while she's driving.
That's a charge, low key.
The car stops because he's like, hey. Because they're getting into it, and he's noticing she's intentionally driving slow. So he snatched the keys, like, you know, so fucking make me go back to jail behind you acting stupid. Like, this is serious. I have to get home, right? So
it's funny. We know where they're at in Texas.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest, in this but I would never think to do that where they're at in Texas. I'm black too.
Well, that's all I'm about to say.
But you know what? It don't even apply. Absolutely right. Okay.
Let it fly. But anyway, takes keys and that's that. He gets in the driver's seat. He driving. They continue to argue down the road. They get back to the house, and mom is pulling up. His mom, because he's staying with his mom after he gets released, and his mom walks up to him, calling Brooke a bitch.
Because she is.
Yeah, calling her. Whoa.
She's acting like one.
Oh, so my
no. Don't get through it. I'm taking my last name back. She is cool.
Yeah, cause yeah, I kind of agree. She's just not being understanding at all. And the mom, she ain't holding back in front of the mom. Like,
because she knows Brooke
JK comes in the house. Like I said, mom walked up on JK calling Brooke the B word, and the mom was like, "We don't play that. I didn't teach you to call women B words. Y'all need to chill." And so they go in the house, and he's like, so the mom's like, "What is going on with y'all?" So Brooke proceeds to be like, "He made my boys a promise, and he didn't keep it." And and the mom and then JK shot. He's like, "She said she didn't care about me going back to jail." And that's when the mom put on that mom head and was like, "Excuse me? You said what now?" She was like, "He can go back to jail." And then she was like, "But he made my boys a promise." She was like, "Well, you could tell them they're kids. They'll be all right. Tell them that, you'll see them next time." I know. Mm-hmm. Tell them you'll see them next time. And so she was like, but Brooke, basically in the end of that, she told Brooke to take her ass home.
Yeah. And Brooke didn't.
Brooke, that's her going back and forth with the mom, and she was like, whatever, and that's her leaving, about to leave. She proceeds to grab her bag. She's saying she's gonna leave. This is when she goes to the car, calls her mom, and it's weird because her mom, she's like, "I'm coming home. I don't want the boys coming," because he's having a barbecue that day with his family. Okay?
I ain't used to seeing loose Daisy Dukes also.
And welcome home party, and the mom was like, "Don't leave. I'll bring the boys. Y'all work it out. I'll bring the boys. The boys are excited to see JK." And I was kind of shocked that she did that. My mama wouldn't have done that. She wouldn't bring her ass home, but her mom did. She brought the kids. And JK got to meet, not me, excuse me, he's known these boys. So this is when we found out their relationship, because I think we misunderstood Brooke and JK's relationship. They've known each other since high school, granted, but they are very close, and these boys are very close to JK to the point that they refer to him as
Dad.
Dad already. So that kind of puts a little bit more understanding. It still was like Brooke, he could go to jail. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you can see why she may have got a little bit more upset and why she was kind of trying to convey that they were going to be disappointed. But at the same time, he needs to stay out of jail. So that's that.
Yeah.
JK then the next day takes the boys out on an outing because he wants to show the boys that he's committed to them, that he loves them, and no matter what happens between the mom and him, that he's going to be there for them. And he does. He takes them out. They go do some gaming stuff, whatever. He drops them off in his ass.
Hold on real quick before we get to this. I want to point out yet another instance of a person being hyperbolic and emotional, because JK was like, hey, you worried about a promise to meet your sons. What about the promise of us being a family, me going to jail? That can't happen.
Yeah.
Next day he meets him, he links over and he takes him to do stuff like chill out. Like these cats just got out. Let them get stuff in order. You know what I'm saying? Like that's and I'm gonna leave it alone after this. But like between that and the Alexis thing, it's like give them a chance.
Yeah.
Like don't make it all about you. Just right the hell away. Not really Alexis's thing, but like give them a chance. You know what I mean? Like Brooke is the main issue with that. Alexis's thing was a little bit different. Well, it's a lot different.
It's a lot.
But I just wanted to give him that because it's like he's trying to stay out of jail and he's still doing A, B, and C and whatnot. And even after that, he had the conversation like, hey, if we don't even work, I'm going to still be there for your boy. So she needs to kick back a little bit.
Yeah.
And so we're at the part where he dropped them off, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Something that wasn't noted. Before he drops them off, Brooke put a locator in his
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, so she put tracking locator, like to locate, so basically see his text messages and whatnot. So y'all keep that in mind. But yeah, so he leaves Brooke and he calls Alex, which is the other woman that he dated while he was incarcerated and has known for some time. They broke up because she cheated on him. He called her and basically said, hey, I'm leaving Brooke's house right now. Tomorrow I'll be able to come see you. And they make plans to meet up, him and this other woman. And before she hangs up the phone, she says, I love you. And he does not say I love you back. He says, I know. And he kind of laughs or whatever. This is not good. And that's basically what ends up happening with that. Move on to Kiana and Dadrick. Y'all know Kiana was not feeling, what's that girl name? What's his baby mama name?
Joaquin.
No. Anyway, we'll just call her baby mama because I can't remember her name. Joella. Joella is her name. So the baby mom, as y'all know, she showed up at the coming home party for Dadrick. She brought his kids. She did not bring all of his kids. She only brought 2 of them. He cordially went over. He spoke to her. He gave her a side church type hug. Kiana wasn't feeling none of that, and she proceeded to drink and kind of walk around pissed off and then try to leave the party. He chases after her, and he's like, you're tripping. I'm not entertaining her. If I wanted to be with her, I would have been with her when I got out of jail. That's his thing. So they have that exchange, and as you can see, she lit. The lashes coming off. She lit. So Dadrick has a sidebar conversation with his father, and his dad has a ring from, I'm guessing, like a grandma or his mother. Mm-hmm. And he gives Dadrick this ring, and he's like, he feels like Dadrick should go with Kiana because she supported him while he was down. She, sent him money. She was there for him. She went to visit him. He said that's the type of woman you want in your life. And so he gave him the ring, and he was like, basically, do what you will with this ring. And Dadrick was like, it's cool, I got the ring. I don't know if I'm ready to get married or whatever, but I just kind of keep her, like, basically keep her at bay. I may give her this ring so she knows that I love her and she feels special.
Yeah, keep her off.
Yeah, keep her off his ass, basically. So this is a scene of the baby mom leaving the party, Joella.
It looks shy.
She's like, she basically is opening words and saying, like, Kiana did too much. She did the most, and she chose to be with him. If she didn't trust him, then she shouldn't have been with him. And she was like, but it's cool, though, because basically I'm right here. So basically whenever she mess up, I'm here.
Why are her glasses so big, though?
This is Kiana had did like a little welcome home thing before the party. She was excited, got the little lingerie popping. I'm guessing his favorite color is blue. Wonder why. And I affiliated. So, so she did this little cutesy thing, but she was not rocking with him when they got to the house. It was like, fuck all of that. They moved them balloons off the bed. She moved that lingerie. She got in the bed, and she was like, basically, like, not trying to do the damn thing with him.
All right, let me pause.
And
real
he
quick.
was ready, and she was not.
She was so because this is. She was. You know what? I'll say that at the end.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
So he ain't getting none. So about 2 a.m, he calls baby mom Joella. And one thing to be noted, Joella got a pet name, and he calls her Mama. So
that's for me. I mean, dude, when
I know it's a Southern thing too, but at the same time, I'm like,
if you call someone like the thing is, they're not in a bad space, so you have that familiarity. Not saying you should, but like they have kids, they obviously are in a space. They're not in a bad space.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if we have an ex that you're not in a good space with, like you call them by their full government more than likely. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna call my ex and be like, hey, such and such. You know what I'm saying?
No, but what I'm saying, like sometimes, like if you want to make sure you set those barriers, you can't do certain things that make them think, because Joella still wants to be with him, and she's made that very clear.
And her nickname, it's not even that. I don't even think that's a nickname. That's just what he calls her. So it's just a familiarity thing. Yeah. It's not good. It's not right. But I'm saying when you call somebody, hey, mama, like, weird as hell though, still to do that and be in the situation.
And it's 2 a.m, and he's sneaking, calling her. What?
It was 11. It's nitpicky, but it was 11. It's late, and she's
late, and Kiana is asleep, and he's sneaking outside to call the baby mom.
Shit, anything after 9:30, you doing something like that is 2 a.m.
At the end of the day,
partner, so,
whatever. Cool. So so he calls her, and he's like, basically, I want to come over and see the other son, because he didn't get a chance to see, which is understandable. He does want to see his youngest, because his youngest, when he went in, the baby was only like 4 months old, very little, and he wants to see his son. I can understand that, but the call late at night while she sleep outside is kind of like, you could have did that in front of Kiana, really, and she should be able to understand.
No, he couldn't.
I'm just saying, ideally.
Oh, he couldn't.
I'm just saying, ideally, she should be able to understand. We know she's not going to, but what I'm saying is, an ideal situation, in a healthy co-parenting type relationship, okay, like he should be able to be like, hey, I'm gonna go pick up my baby in front of Kiana. That's like you can call your baby mom in front of me. You do it all the time.
I ain't to know I got kids. No play, but no.
I'm just saying, like, you do it all the time, and it's not an issue. Like,
I get that. I'm saying.
I'm doing whatever, like that's understandable.
I'm joking, be a little facetious, but I'm saying his situation, it ain't no normal situation.
Right,
if he were to call, she'd be like, why ain't y'all have all this in order? Like, ain't nobody trying to hear all that.
And that's where Kiana's going wrong, because I do agree. If you're gonna be with him, like, you're stressing yourself out. Like, if you got to do all of that and you don't trust him that much, then it's just not worth it. You're gonna be miserable.
She is,
and she is currently.
She like, honestly, she's been. Hold on, before we get in there, I want to say this about Kiana. Kiana seems like a very nice girl.
She does.
Okay. Jamiroquai looks like she could be cool. She looks like she could be cool also, right? But right. The thing is, there's the dynamic they have going on. Kiana, over the top. Joella has been with Smoke. I said her name right. She's been with Smoke when she's away from them. She hasn't done anything in front of Kiana to have. She's being sneaky, but she's not. She's being sneaky, but she's not being. She's not being direct. Like, even in that phone call, she can be like, "You can come over tonight." She ain't do none of that. She's like, well, "All right, we'll figure it out for another day." See the kid. So, but the thing is, Kiana is doing stuff the way she's acting. When you have an imminent threat like that, you need to. Again, it's the same thing I've been saying. Logic versus emotion. Let me just kind of chill out and let me kind of see if he's gonna get caught up. He's gonna get caught up. Either way, but you're sitting up and making stuff worse, bugging the way you are, and it revolves around this man's children. You know what I'm saying? So that's. I just want to say that as far as them two.
And then so here we have.
Ooh, I was going to say something.
Brian, do not. We have Brooklyn and Brian, and we kind of spoke too soon on these two. Brooklyn was getting on both of our nerves. Honestly, she was not getting on at least my nerves as bad these last 2 episodes. She did bring up that damn ugly ass broke ass tablet that he had in jail with the girl picture on the back. This is what they're doing right now, talking in bed about it. But you could tell they have a friendship, a long friendship. They're joking about it. It's not as serious as I would say we kind of tried to make it as far as that situation, the actual production did.
Yeah.
It sounds like it was kind of like, she's like, nigga, don't, hey. Like, you know what I mean? And she's like, so I like their banter back and forth. I thought it was like healthy or whatever. And so he tore up the picture and he basically made a joke. He's like, I just know I can't have no pictures of someone else on the back of my tablet.
Well, I mean, truthfully, you just need to know you're buried with.
Yeah, of course. So then one of the big things that happened with them, which was really sweet, and again, we were not aware of, is the relationship that he has with Brooklyn's daughter, who is really cute little girl. And like, she loves him and he loves her. And it's like the sweetest thing to see. And it's really nice to actually see that on TV. Like, you know, just his love for this little girl. And like, you already see like his protection for her, things like that. Even he's open to answering all her questions. Like when she flat out asked him, like, what you go to jail for? You know, how was that?
He did it in a very
like way to explain to a child her age, and he let her know that certain things he's not comfortable talking to her about, you know. And I thought that was really sweet, and I think that's something that we need as a community to see on TV a little bit more, you know. Like,
I think even outside of the community, like overall, I think the depiction that they're showing, like, you don't know the dynamics, like with JK and the boys, and they kind of you know, they were showing that. So that was kind of, I thought both of them.
On both sides. It was nice to see that, just like that male interaction with their own children and extended children, right? Like, I think that's really...
The importance of just kids being involved in the scenario.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool to see. So I like the way that they did that. I don't know, Brooke. I don't know, Brooke.
Hold on. I'm taking this right here. Okay. I'm taking this right here. So this is Brooklyn's brother.
Yeah.
And the only reason I'm talking about because I feel like this is a very guy going into a situation centric type of thing. So let me run this part right here.
Hurry.
The brother wants to come and talk to Brian about his plans or whatnot. Now, instead of just chopping it up with him and like, hey, you know, he pretty much goes on the offensive, right? And like, you're just laying around the house and see this picture right here. This is the face of him figuring out if he's going to be calm or not. Because I know he wanted to lay hands on her brother. Because it was really disrespectful the way that he came at Brian. You know what I'm saying? And luckily, Brian seeming so calm and kind of laid back, he asserted himself, but he was like, you know, boom. This is the type of stuff, like, if they have a good scenario going forward, like, that type of situation could ruin some things. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to point that out because that, I personally feel, and what's her brother's name? Tutterman or something like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, it was completely uncalled for the way that he approached Brian. Right. I personally think. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's the whole thing to that, you know. So yeah, that's what I thought with that, and yeah.
That's it?
Yeah.
This is Brooklyn, because she can't. This is the thing about Brooklyn. Brooklyn is very, I don't know how to explain. She comes off kind of controlling, but like she went in and checked the temperature. That's what she said. I can understand that too, because I think she know how her brother is. And she did say that. She was like, my brother can be a smart ass and he can be really disrespectful. And so, you know, that's her doing that.
That's when you have a conversation with your brother ahead of time, though.
That it. Well, I'm pretty sure she did.
And
he decided to. I'm pretty sure she did.
If it would have been some consequences from it, then...
So then it goes into her, to Brian meeting her father, and cool dude. Yeah. You know what I mean? He was real with him. I think I like that conversation. It was respectful, but he was real with him. And I was real man to man on that.
Yeah, it was real man to man. Like, hey, this is my daughter, but he respected he handled it. Obviously, her brother being a little immature or whatever, but he handled it like father going into that situation with some concerns, right, but not trying to control the situation. I liked how that went, you know what I'm saying? Also, you know what I mean? Like, you could tell his father he understood certain things just from the way they were talking. I mean, the way he pulled up, I was like, okay. I seen when the car pulled up, I was like, okay. Yeah. Price of 300, got some rims. Okay, he hops out with okay, you're wearing all right. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, so, but I thought that was really, really cool. I think, honestly, if things work out, the father will the situation more comfortable.
I think so too. I think they'll have a really good relationship.
Yeah.
Just based on, as long as he keep it real and he don't lie and all that, I think that the dad will be straight with him for sure.
Yeah.
So then we get into Will and Courtney. Will trying to get married. That's all it is. So he's trying to get married to Courtney. He is rushing this. He's not considering her feelings. He's not considering what she would like in life. He's like,
he's a weirdo.
He's all about the sex and the marriage. That's what Will.
I just don't see how she doesn't see the like. There's not a lot to go into with them besides that. But it's like this dude is weird.
Yeah,
he's weird from the jump. And maybe this is not right for me to say, but he's a weirdo.
But yeah, so this picture here is basically him. They were driving, and then he basically is like, "Yeah, I know I asked you to marry me yesterday. Let's do it today or tomorrow." And she's like, she instantly looks a little bit like a deer in headlights. But Courtney is just kind of going with the flow type of thing, I guess. So this is him getting ready in the bathroom the next day, and he's talking about how he's booked a thing downstairs in the hotel and has booked a
he looked like Kevin.
A minister or
yeah,
whatever you call it, to do officiant, yeah, to do the wedding. And so I need y'all to keep in mind that she just got out of jail like the day before. Just got out. And has never met him in person until that day before.
Yeah.
And he's like, we're getting married. So he's excited about that. And even just to go back, it's just cringy, the stuff that he says. Like, he's very overly sexualizes her in a way, and I don't like that either. But whatever, she seems to be okay with it. So this is Courtney now with her mom, and she's in this, like, boutique that's not a wedding store. It's just, like, some rinky-dink. I'm sorry, whoever owns this. I'm not trying to talk about y'all's store or nothing, but, like, it's just a little small boutique store. And they have, like, a couple of dresses. I think they have, like, 2.1 white dresses in there, and her mom could tell like something's wrong with her, and she's like, are you sure you want to do this? And she's like, I just didn't envision my wedding being like this. She wanted, the white dress and walking down the aisle, and she does care for Will a lot, and she can see him being a good husband, she says, and things like that, but she just feels very rushed, and it's making her feel uncomfortable. She's trying on this dress that look like it came from Fashion Nova, and that's fine, and I wear Fashion Nova all the time. But, she's just kind of uncomfortable. Understandably so. But she's not speaking up. Which makes me wonder, I don't know. I'm kind of concerned for her that she's not speaking up about that. But it is what it is. And then the episode ends off where they're getting married, and it clips. So we don't know if they actually get married or not until the next episode. So that's that. And that's them right there. Yeah. That's them right there. So next up is Joey and Michael. Joey then took this man, Michael then took this man's phone. Michael has taken Joey's phone, and Joey is frantically looking for his phone around this hotel room. Michael finally shows up. He walks in the door, and he hands Joey his phone instantly. Oh, I must have accidentally took your phone.
No, that's not what he said.
What did he say?
I found it downstairs.
Anyway, that whole thing, they're going back and forth, and he's like, how did you find my phone? Like, Joey's confused. He's just like, okay. And producers are kind of hinting to Joey that, hey, Michael is lying. He's lying to you. And Joey gets defensive. To the producers, he's like, if you're trying to say he took the phone, just say he took the phone. But I don't believe he took the phone because he told me he didn't take the phone. But the producers saw him take the phone, and they told me he took the phone. It's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Look, what I'm about to say is going to sound mean, and I'm going to kind of censor myself when I say what I'm about to say.
Yeah.
Because it can be seen as offensive. Joey's the epitome of a dumb bee. He's the epitome of that. Like, he is, as a woman, you have had your female friends, you're like, this man. I'm gonna have to bleep that, but you know what I'm saying? Like, for real. But like, he's showing all those, like, traits, I guess. I could never come back with your phone, but here, I found it downstairs.
You could never.
Yeah, no.
Well, anyway, this is real choppy because at the end of the day, Michael is going back to jail. We say this every time. Since the beginning of Michael popping on the screen, he is going back to jail. And hence what this scene is about. This is like 2 days later, and throughout
the next day,
basically the entire time they spend time together, Joey has been bouncing for hours on end, not answering his phone, doing whatever, right? Because Michael's not knowing what he's doing. And so at this point, I don't know where they're supposed to go, but like he's waiting on him to get back. He's supposed to be back by a certain time. He's late. Here come Michael, frantic again, running into the hotel hours late. And Joey's greeting him with a smile on his face, and he's just happy to see him and acting like he wasn't just pissed off. So he gives him a hug. So he gives him a hug, and he's like, "Yeah, so everything okay?" He was like, no, well, I popped positive on my UA."
Yeah. I don't know how Joey did not see that he was high when he walked into the
Michael, I feel like Michael's been high since he stepped out the prison. You pointed that out.
Yeah, he's been high the whole time.
I feel like he's been high.
Mind you, he's only been out of jail 3 days.
Yeah.
But he's been high the whole time.
So.
And I can tell that he don't really vibe with him like that because he's been talking to other guys like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna link up. Oh, this is my friend. We know what you're going to do." Yeah. And listen, look, when we sit up here talking about Kiana not giving Dadrick none, guess what, Michael, you're not giving
they got nothing to do either.
You know what I mean? So
he said he's not. I guess he's saying he's not really attracted to him. It's not doing it for him. It's not Michael feels like Joey is not giving him that thrill, that excitement that he needs. And so anyway, he's going back to jail.
Yeah.
And so this is the face of shock when he tells him that he popped positive on his UA. So that's what that is. Savannah and Bradley, really not a lot happened. This is another situation where Bradley gets upset and ends up calling his woman a bitch. And that's that. Basically,
unredeemable.
Like, basically. And Savannah, this is just a weird communication situation. He needs to go to the dentist. He had an appointment. It was 2 months out, too far for him. Even though he's been in prison this whole time, he feels like he can't wait that long. So he asked his sister to make an appointment. His sister finds a closer dentist and a closer time, where he could go see the dentist. And then he gets with Savannah later and says, "Hey, can you take me?" Savannah's like, "Why don't you have your sister take you?" "Oh, she can't because she don't have a car. Like, you're not being considerate of what I have going on." And he feels away. He's like, I mean, what's the big deal type of thing. They get into a little conversation. He takes her car. She gets upset. She's like, "No, he didn't take my car." So she calls his sister. It's like, "He took my car and I don't know, The sister calls him and then he's talking shit about her again. And he's calling her all kind of he didn't call her that to her face, but he called her that getting in the car, right?
No, he didn't call her. He was talking to his sister. He called her that. So.
And so this is just a situation, but that's basically what happened with them. And that was the end of this episode.
Well, that was the end of the 2 episodes.
That was the end of the 2 episodes altogether. So that was it.
Yeah.
So I mean, we tried to make this very, very quick. It was 2 episodes in one, and yeah, we want to hear about what y'all think in the comments. We want to hear about who y'all think is gonna make it, who y'all think is not gonna make it. Put all that in the comments.
I tell you who ain't gonna make it.
Huh?
Michael
and Joey ain't gonna make it. Oh. Michael and Joey ain't gonna make it. I'm sorry, I could bet money on that.
And we should do it when it gets closer. But like, yeah, they're not. Mike going back to jail. But I've been saying that from the gym, so we'll see. I mean, also, what's the name? Finna have some issues, JK, but we'll see what happens next week with that.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, hit the notification bell. Follow us on all our social media channels: TikTok, Instagram. This is YouTube.
Yeah.
What else am I missing?
TikTok, Instagram, Facebook.
Oh, Facebook. Yes. Yeah. Facebook. Follow us on all those. We're Jey and Meka on all platforms. And yeah, we will be caught up. We're caught up now. And we only have 10 episodes this season. So we're almost done with this season.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Yeah, right. That's it.